Hi guys, I'm here to talk about how to get away with murder. Episode 6, Freakin Whac-a-Mole. And that's the title of the episode, which Connor says, and it's fitting because he is really losing it. This episode focuses on Asher and this 5 weeks prior to the murder. So we know that West is really peed off with Annalise because he's been trying to get this phone into evidence and she doesn't want to use it, and now he knows why. So they go to class the next day and Wes is not there, but the trophy's there. So of course the 4 students notices it and class begins. So the class is dismissed early because Annalise had been trying to do an appeal and she finally gets it approved. So before they go back to the office, Annalise goes to find Wes and beg him to come back. It is so funny because he came to the door all glistening and everything from taking a shower. And, you know, Annalise might have been feeling a certain kind of way because Sam, she ain't doing that with Sam because she pissed with him. And then Nathan kicked her to the curb, so she might be feeling all kind of thirsty. Who knows? But she goes in, and it's funny to see Youngin over here threatening, you better get Rebecca back by any means necessary, or I'm going to tell everything I know. And she probably is a little amused by it because Annalise is not a spring chicken. And this is not her first rodeo. I'm pretty sure she's been threatened a lot of times. But she listens and she agrees and he comes back. But it's funny because she sees some claw prints on the wall behind the bed. I was like, is this you and Rebecca? I would be wondering too because we just figured out, wondering why is he so determined to help Rebecca? Like, he has no loyalty to nobody else, so it seems, but why are you so loyal? Even Rebecca wonders that. But it's funny to see because he looks like the guy from The Last Dragon, Bruce Leroy, and just talking to her and everything. Then he had his shirt off and he got the glow and everything. It reminds me of this clip right here.
All right, Leroy. Who's the one and only master? I am.
We missed you in class today.
Which this clip has nothing to do with anything, but it's just so funny to me. Moving on. So what Annalise do, she taking it in her own hands. She gives Frank the phone, tell him to throw away or disregard all the phone numbers to plant it in Griffin's car. Here's the thing. Whoever you had to go in and take the numbers out, you should have had them planted. 2 things, people. Nate and Frank. I'm doing a public service announcement. You need to learn how to break in people's cars, okay? Frank, you don't do it yourself, and you don't do it in the middle of the day. So Nate is already over here scorned because he got put on the bus by his lover, and then he thinks his lover got him fired. So he is investigating, and it might be just because that's the detective in him, but he already knows the truth, that it was planted. Then Annalise go and get new wallpaper. But your wallpaper is the same pattern, just different color. Who does that? You had a chance to just clear the whole thing away. So West over here talking about, oh, it's morally wrong, this and then the other. But then you know that they set up Griffin to take the fall, but you're okay with it because it gets Rebecca off the hook. Ain't that kind of contradicting? Move on to Bunny being creepy again. She see that Laura flirts with Frank and tells her to stop it because a rich girl like her won't end up with a guy like him. It never happens. So it lets us know that Laura is rich too, and I feel like Bunny was talking about herself. And to me, I feel like Bunny is rich and she wanted Sam and Sam didn't go with her. And I was on Twitter and the guy that plays Sam, I asked a question, is Bunny Sam's old mistress? And he said it will be addressed soon, so that shall be good. Okay, so let's get back to the case of the week. Asher's dad is a federal judge, and he had something to do with this case. So it's implied that the judge probably did something that he didn't supposed to do And Asher was like, no, my dad would never do something like that. So he goes to talk to his dad. And it's funny, they kind of have a little weird kind of relationship, but whatever. So he asked him, are you still working for that lawyer? My thing is, this is a small town. Annalise is a top defense attorney. You don't know her name? Then she opens up the case that helps your career go further. You don't know her name? And you don't know nothing about the case? So Asher asks him, did you have something to do with convicting the wrong man? And he got mad. So Asher knew the truth. So he comes back to Annalise, and he had two stipulations to come back on the case. One, that they leave his dad out of it, so it doesn't mess up his reputation. And then he gets the trophy. He's such a douche face. Ugh. So they proved that the man was wrongfully accused. So he was free. Okay? So that is cleared up. Let's move forward to after the murder. So Asher is at home humping furniture. Clearly don't have a lot of friends. And then he finds out that his trophy is missing. And the first person he says is Michaela. So they might have studied before that, but for whatever reason, he knows Michaela took the trophy. So when he goes to the house to knock on the door, Laura, Connor, and Rebecca were like, we should let him in so he can be a part of this too. That's crazy. And Wes said something that got me thinking. He was like, that's not a part of the plan. So is Wes the mastermind about this plan to kill Sam because later all of them find out the truth and like they want to be morally correct and kill the person? I don't know. As they were going to get something to get rid of the body, they almost hit Asher. But he wasn't paying attention because he think he's get some. Okay. Draw dropping was the last 2 minutes of the story. I was like, no! It's just crazy. So let me do my line of the night. When I filed the petition, I didn't know you were strewing some white whore. That was Annalise. That was Annalise's line or whatever. The thirsty moment was the last 5 or 2 minutes of the episode when Bonnie slept with Asher. She doesn't really like anybody on the team, and she really seemed like she's irritated by Asher's childness and his douchebag or douche-facedness on the show, and she slept with him. So my thing is, was she doing that to have an alibi? Because, I mean, where was she? She always somewhere she don't have to be. And then Annalise, now we know that Annalise finds that Sam is somewhere, or she feels that something happened to Sam. And guess who the first person she called? She called Bunny to ask, was she with him? So were they having an affair? Because if we recall, Annalise was Sam's mistress with his first wife. This stuff is getting good, people. It's getting good. And I just can't wait till next week. So leave your comments. Let's talk about this. Our theories on who killed Sam. Until next week, I'll talk to you later. Bye.